So coming to my further question that is related to productivity. So this topic is so hot in the industry that everyone is looking for the highly productive people. Okay. This is so much of competitive world, and the deadlines are also shrinking very fast. Earlier, before say 5 to 10 years back, if some activity used to take say 1 month, now people are expecting that you should complete it in 1 week. That's how the deadlines are shrinking. So organizations are preferring the employees who are more productive. And obviously, no doubt about it, high performers are the productive people. They can produce more output compared to the average performer. And that's why they get appreciated. So I really want to understand from you what is that secret of high performance so that they produce this higher amount of output which really matters, and that's why they are getting appreciation also.
You know, one of the things that's interesting, particularly with regards to the book that you have in the background, the whole concept of high performance habits,
Yeah.
is that the 6 habits that are referred to are the habits of clarity, energy, productivity, courage, influence, and performance necessity. And so the fascinating thing about that is that like the Enneagram, which is a continuum, really those high performance habits are a continuum. They all interact with one another. You can't be productive if you don't feel well. So energy plays an important part in it. You can't be productive unless you have clarity about who you are and where it is that you want to go. You can't be productive unless you exercise increasing levels of influence. You can't be productive unless you have the courage to overcome your fears. You can't be productive unless you identify with the concept of performance necessity, where why is it that you are applying yourself in this particular area? What's the motivation, right? So everything plays into productivity. And again, similarly, all of those high performance habits interact with one another, but productivity is kind of like the beneficiary of all of them. And so high performers recognize that in order to maximize their productivity, which, by the way, in the framework that I coach my clients in, the first 12 sessions that I work with my clients in, we cover all of the high performance habits. And productivity, out of the 12 sessions, productivity is the one that we cover twice because we start at the beginning to get some quick wins, and then we study it at the end to master our productivity. And so you have to, so whatever it is that you're doing, you have to ask yourself, is this something that I should be doing? Is this something that's really going to benefit me? Is this something that if I don't do it, the opportunity cost is high? Is this something that I have a high degree of autonomy in? Oh, and that reminds me of another book that I want to mention. And this is, in order to be productive, you have to be motivated, right?
Yeah.
So this book by Daniel Pink called Drive, New York Times bestseller, the surprising truth about what motivates us. And, in the beginning, way back, hundreds of thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, the things that motivated us were simple. It was survival. And one of the things that early man discovered was fire. And one of the things that fire did, besides cook our meals and keep away the predators, was that it allowed us to come together as a group to tell stories. So thank you again for having this campfire that we're all able to gather around and share our stories, you and I, and so others can hear. And so, so way back, survival was really the thing that motivated us. And then this concept, motivation 2.0, has been the concept of carrots and sticks. We learn about carrots and sticks as children. It's how we motivate our kids. Either we give them a reward, which is the carrot, or we punish them, which is the stick.
Yeah.
That's how you get a horse to move. You put a carrot in front of the horse, or you hit him on the backside with a stick to get him to move. And so much of our motivation through the Industrial Revolution and into the 1950s and even in the 1960s, it was focused on carrots and sticks. And even today, that's a kind of motivation that works, but it only gets you so far. You can't get to those really high levels unless you adopt a new kind, or understand and adopt a new kind of motivation. And there's 3 dimensions to that new kind of motivation where productivity really becomes stratospheric. It's when you have a certain amount of autonomy in what it is that you're doing. And I'm taking this concept from this book, Drive by Daniel Pink. So it's not my idea, it's his, but I think it's beautiful in its simplicity. Having autonomy, having a say in what it is that you're doing during the day, and being able to dictate what it is that you're working on and how you're spending your time, as opposed to having someone looking over your shoulder and telling you, do this, do this, do this, do this. Autonomy motivates us. Having the opportunity to master what it is that we're doing, to develop mastery in what it is that we are doing, so that we are growing, that motivates us. And if it's in alignment with our purpose, that motivates us. Now, knowing what your purpose is, that takes some time and effort and work. And it's why, it's the final session when I do my initial engagements with my clients. It's the last thing that we focus on, mastering your purpose.
Yeah.
Because all of the work that we do in front of that is understanding who we are. And you can't really master your purpose until you understand who you are. So autonomy, mastery, and purpose are the things that motivate us in the modern world. And if those are things that are lacking in your work, in your current position, your current assignment, whatever it is, those are areas that you can focus on personally. And there are also things that you can have a conversation with your supervisor. You can have a conversation with the management or with senior management, understanding what motivates people. And, and in this book, Drive, it helps to really lay it out and study it so that you can become well-versed in this concept of modern motivation.
That's really insightful. I mean, you're sharing such a piece of advice that is priceless. I tell you that this is so much necessary to understand all these things. And as you rightly mentioned, that now the motivation is autonomy. And even people would agree to me that in today's age, if you see that the trend is changing actually. People are looking for the jobs, career, which is giving them more autonomy compared to when we look back then 15 or 20 years back, right? So nowadays, the awareness is increasing day by day. People are looking for the roles which is giving them more autonomy. They are also trying to become master of particular thing instead of having so many skill sets here and there. They are focusing on one particular skill set or the domain, and they are becoming master in that particular domain. Also, so many people are working towards finding out their purpose. I feel personally that, I don't know, maybe I might be late, you can tell it better, that earlier this was not the trend. More people were not aware about finding out your passion and purpose. But now you see, while choosing the career path, or when it comes to the mid-career level, wherein people get confused, they lack clarity, then they start thinking that what is their purpose of their career, their entire life, and they then align their career with their purpose, and that actually motivates them for a longer period. And that's the real motivation. That's really awesome. Thank you for sharing that.